Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Zach Grant with the Urban Ag Connect vlog series with U of I Extension in Cook County. Working from home here at Fangwater Farm. Have been for over 6 weeks now, and we're rebooting this vlog series. So I'm just going to show you kind of some just-in-time seasonal information. Some of the stuff is going to be a little behind schedule, but things have been a little hectic the past few weeks, as they have been with everyone everywhere all over the world. So just want to show you some of my bed planting techniques right now, getting ready to put in some storage onions actually. And they're in these multi-plant blocks. I like to use soil blocks here at Fangwater, and I'm going to show you how I do it in our bed system, our 30-inch bed system. Just going to show you how I plant them and a little bit about this technique, but more to come. Want to get this stuff in the ground before the storm comes, so let's jump right into it. So here's my bed preparation rake that I like to use for doing a lot of bed prep work on these 30-inch beds. You can see the width of the rake is actually 29 inches, but it fits really nicely on a 30-inch bed. So you can see here, and here I have these little PEX tubing that I use for spacing. This is common. You can purchase the PEX tubing yourself and cut it, or some companies will sell it to you like this. And for my bed system, I like to do everything on sort of even spacing. So I borrow a little bit from Ben Hartman, Clay Bottom Farm, a little bit from Elliot Coleman, and do their spacings. So in this case, I'm going to do something that's about a 10.5 by 10.5 inch grid. So I know with a 30-inch bed prep rake, if I have 6 tines between each of these, that's about 10.5 inches. And then all I have to do is make the grid on the bed. So a lot of people have different techniques for this. The ground is a little crusty right now, but you can see I can just push this in the ground, rotate it back and forth. Yeah, I probably actually would have kind of raked this area out a little bit before doing it. But you can see I'm creating these pretty straight grid lines on the bed top. All right, and then if I do it that way, and then now come across this way, I create this really nice gridded pattern. Okay, so we'll show you what that looks like. So here are the grid lines that I've created. They're not that hard to see. The ground was a little crusty, a little moist, so I would have done a little bit better bed prep, and it would have been easier to see the lines. And the better the bed soil conditions, the quicker and faster you can do it. So this is all relatively straight, but as long as it's relatively straight, it's going to make it easy to cultivate. So they're relatively straight rows. Here are some other onion alien family things that I planted. Down here you can see this is white spear, this is a scallion. I mean, these are very tight, very straight rows that I gridded out. This is a 4x4 system, so this is about 7.5 inches. It's going to be really easy to cultivate between that. So having this grid system works really well. It makes it efficient for planting, and it also will make it efficient for cultivation too. So let's look at some planting technique. So I'm a big fan of using soil blocks. These are from the 20 soil blocker. They're probably about 1.5 inch soil blocks. So this is from a commercial maker. I can show you that in a separate vlog. I think the soil blocks make the most superior transplant. Of course, the system, it's not very scalable past an acre. So I've heard of farms at very large scale using the commercial soil blocking equipment, but it is a specialized skill. But for home growers, for urban farmers, for small farms, I think the soil block equipment makes a superior transplant. You can really see here, this is a great example right here. You know, this is talon, this is a yellow onion. It's already starting to bulb out. You got some really nice white root growth right here, ready to go into the bed and ready to take off. So big fan. Go ahead and finish laying these out and then get them planted. This is one section of alliums. It's about a 20-foot section of the bed. Got some more behind the camera. Need to create some more space because I have a lot more alliums to plant. So let's finish laying these out and get this planted. So I've got most of them laid out, and as you can see, I was pretty rough with these. You can toss these around as long as you don't break up the soil block. But this bed is really nicely prepped, so it's it's pretty easy in this case just to use your hand. You can use a trowel, but I'm just going to set these in just below the soil line and just, you know, compress. So it doesn't need to be anything super fancy. Just make sure you're hitting your grid spots properly, and just keep moving on down the bed until you get them all in place. Again, there are hand tools you can use to make this a little bit more ergonomic, depending on your physical condition in terms of being able to bend over. So this is one option, but you know, again, there are tools for doing this. So try to make it as quick as possible. If you have good bed preparation, good soil till, doing this by hand should be easy. You could wear gloves, you could use a trowel. There's lots of different planting techniques. So I'll go ahead and get the rest of these onions planted. So here's what it looks like when it's completed. So you can see, we've got a nice 20-foot section of the market garden space planted. And you can see very precise spacing, okay? So it's gonna be very easy to cultivate between these little clusters. And the reason why I plant them in multi-plants and give them more space like this rather than a single onion is because when you plant them in the multi-plant cluster, this spacing gives them enough room to grow apart instead of you know, enough space to reach maturity. So it's just an easier system. It makes a slightly better use of space. And there's quite a few other crops that you can plant this way. You can see the beets underneath the netting are planted that way, as well as a number of these other scallion allium crops. So just wanted to show you a little planting technique while I was out here, and we'll catch you guys next time.